The Three Stooges is an American vaudeville team that ran between from about 1925 to 1975. Their act consists of physical humor and extreme slapstick, which on today's TV is something you probably see more on the children's programming channels like Disney and Nickelodeon. The original team starred Moses Horowitz, Louis Feinberg, and Samuel Horowitz, or better known by their stage names, Moe, Larry, and Shemp. And yes, Moe and Shemp are real-life brothers. After the first feature film, Soup to Nuts, Shemp left the group to try and pursue a solo career, and his spot was filled by Jerome Horowitz, yes, another brother. But we all know Jerome by his stooge name, Curly.
Hey, how can you shoot it with dice? They're loaded.
There have been two other lineups, both having actors filling in the slot after Moe and Larry, but coming from a Stooge fan, they weren't the greatest. Both Joe Besser and Curly Joe DeRitta have their unique charm, but Joe's wimpy Stooge character turned off some fans.
Oh, you scared me!
And Curly Joe, being a slow nitwit with a big heart, pretty much ended the franchise. However, he did end up in a few Stooge films, so he has that going for him.
You onion head. Is that the way we make a living, giving stuff away? I'll teach you a thing or two or three.
The team of Moe, Larry, and Curly is probably the best known of the Three Stooges lineups, and is most likely the trio we've seen on TV when networks like AMC play their shorts. This is also the trio we see in the 2012 Farley Brothers film titled, well, The Three Stooges. Believe it or not, writing a Three Stooges short seems pretty simple. In most cases, the boys play either a pack of vagabonds trying to make a living for themselves, or they're a group of misfit professionals such as doctors, handymen, or plumbers, and in the 2012 film, it's no different. As young children, Moe, Larry, and Curly were left at an orphanage and through mostly faults of their own, were not adopted and grew up into the groundskeepers of their wayward home. However, the orphanage is in dire financial trouble, and the nuns who run it need about $1 million to keep it from being foreclosed. The Stooges volunteer to head out into the real world in search of jobs that can help solve their situation. Like I said, all this sounds like it would be in a Three Stooges short, and I give major praise to the Farley brothers who helped pen the story that's just right for this type of movie. Speaking of the writing, it too has some high marks with me. The movie's actually split up into 3 episodic adventures, which all tie together to the main plot of the movie, and each part felt like an actual episode of the classic series. The Three Stooges not only use slapstick for their comedy, but also clever wordplay. Oftentimes, the conversations Moe, Larry, and Curly would have would make me laugh just as much as the physical humor did. Although, there is an issue with the writing as well. For some reason, the Farley brothers decided to add some jokes that just didn't sit well with me. One example is toilet humor, specifically speaking, Curly passing gas in an enclosed space, and then Moe lighting said gas to make an explosion. As far as I know, the classic Three Stooges shorts and films didn't have that sort of thing. All they had to do was the slapstick, the physical humor, and the wordplay to make people laugh, and that worked for about 50 years. Next was trying to integrate modern things such as iPhones and the Jersey Shore to characters that have never heard of any of these things. And yes, I said that correctly, the Jersey Shore is in a children's movie.
Hiya, Snook. I got your present.
Really?
Yeah, go on, open it.
I need to make one point that the cast of the Jersey Shore are not good role models to be in a movie targeted towards children. They are loud, vulgar, and borderline pornographic. I think the only reason why they're in this film is because they're the only things that gives MTV its ratings, and maybe having them could possibly boost the movie. In the end, this fails, as the Shore crew does nothing for the film, and they're just there for the hype up. I will give respect to Vinny, as he's the only one absent and did not sell out like the rest of the house. On the acting side of things, I again give the movie a lot of praise, as our main stars, Moe, Larry, and Curly, played by Colin Diamopoulos, Sean Hayes, and Will Sasso, do an excellent job playing the iconic Stooges. Sasso probably does the best out of the 3, as the skills of impersonating famous people really benefits for the role of Curly Howard. Not only does the main cast do an excellent job, but also the supporting cast. Larry David from Arrested Development fame shines the most as he plays a nun by the name of Sister Mary Mengele, hopefully no relation to Josef Mengele, Nazi Germany's Angel of Death. This character is an overly angrily nun, and to me actually feels like a character that would appear in a Three Stooges short. In the short films, characters like this would create a good conflict for the Stooges. Other good supporting cast members include Jane Lynch, Kate Upton, and Jennifer Hudson, who, while being big names in Hollywood, seem to be casted simply for face recognition and don't really do anything in the film. It's nice to have them in there, but maybe give them something more to do.
Even the child actors who played the Stooges as young boys did an alright job. A lot of people have a group agreement on them not being in the film at all, and I happen to be one of them, but still, they did an alright job. The Jersey Shore, however, were the worst part about the cast, as they did nothing to move the story along. All they got was a cameo credit. I was still asking myself after the movie, why in the world were they even considered when this movie was in development? Did the Farley brothers think that they were some new generation of Stooges? Are we to believe that the terms Guido and Meatballs, which the Shore House has used countless times, is a title on the same level as Stooge? If I had to choose a word for these people, I would use mook. The Jersey Shore House is full of mooks. And with that, let me give you my final verdict for this film. I give the Farley Brothers' Three Stooges a 5 out of 10. Time for a refill. On the positive side, the writing and dialogue feels like an actual Three Stooges short, and there is some real nostalgia to the whole thing. The actors playing the Stooges do a spot-on job and pay real homage to the classic trio. On the negative side, the writing, while nostalgic, is geared towards more a younger crowd, so real fans might not like the childish humor. Supporting cast, while filled with famous faces, is underutilized and don't do anything. And finally, the Jersey Shore, really? Come on, we're better than that. Well, that's gonna do it for me. I'm the Popcorn Jockey, and the Three Stooges is what's playing.
Fuck that, I'm not going to the lobby. Paid $17 for this movie. I'm not paying 20 more for popcorn. Go shove it up your ass. Please. And furthermore, if my refreshments danced around and sang about me eating them, well, that would just creep me.
Put it down or I'll take away your medals.
They're not yours. I bought them in a hop shop.
Give me my personality.